Randy, I bet
Yeah.
you don't remember what happened on October 11th back in 2000.
October 11th, 2000. No, I can't say that
Oh
was
man, I was
long. Yeah.
I do. Kathryn Sullivan was a astronaut on the Space Shuttle Challenger, and she was the first woman to take a walk in space.
Really?
Yeah, yeah,
Did not know that.
yeah. So
Did she do it on that date? Because the Challenger blew up in the 80s, right? So
what was this?
maybe,
Is
maybe it was a different one. I don't know, but it was a long time ago.
84. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I've had my notes. It was 1984. Thank you for reminding me of that.
Because see, I remember where I was when the Challenger blew up, just like I remember 9/11.
Yeah.
And folks remember when, JFK and landing on the moon and some of those seminal moments in our history. So some good, some obviously not good. But hey, Teddy, glad to be with you, man. Happy Monday to you.
Yeah. Introduce yourself to everybody.
Certainly. I have my red shirt on today, so I'm feeling pretty peppy about that. Randy Wooden with Goodwill Industries of Northwest North Carolina. Run our professional center. So if you're in a job search, you're a professional, or maybe you know somebody who is, or maybe somebody who's thinking about changing careers or whatever, our services are free. Like I said, always, we're happy to help. We do work by appointment, so I'd hope you'd reach out to me. You can find me on LinkedIn. And again, we're here to help. There are folks across different industries and functions that, well, could always use help. And I tell people we're free and you get what you pay for, but only kidding. We do good work and we're happy to help you or somebody you know. There you go.
Good stuff. Good stuff. So, hey, for those who've never met me, I'm Teddy Burriss. I'm a LinkedIn strategist. I work for Burriss Consulting, which means I work for my wife. We do LinkedIn training, strategy, consulting. We do seminars, webinars, workshops, one-on-one coaching. We got content all over the internet, including YouTube and Quora, Udemy and Illumio and Skillshare and Teachable and TabletWise and LearnDesk and Allison. And my newest courses are on Allison. They're free. And we love teaching people how to use LinkedIn as a business tool. But
Eddie, let me write all that down. You put that on a business card, it'd be like this.
Now just Google TL Burriss. That's all you got to do. It'll freak people out. You freaked out my mom.
Is that internet stuff going to stay around? Is that, yeah. That's awesome,
really?
Teddy.
Are you always this noisy?
So, hey, I got a story for you.
All right, man. Go.
Ready for a story? The fair just wrapped up. And of course, there was no Carolina Classic Fair last year due to COVID. And this year it was held. And again, not to make political statements, not to make, COVID-19 statements and this about masks and that. You know what? It was nice to get out.
Yeah.
When I went to the fair, the day I went, the weather was great. And this all kind of plays in a little bit to talking about who our guest will be, Melissa Hughes, and how the brain works. But there's something about going to a fair or to a carnival, and it's a sensory overload. It's the smell of, you name it. I mean,
yeah.
If you walk away from the fair and you're hungry, it's your own fault, or you're out of money. I guess that could be too. But just the smell and the tastes, but the smell and even the bad smell, like you go in the animal barns. I mean, but that's the smell of farmland. Yeah. That's what it is. Or the smell of cotton candy and the sounds, and you hear the, and they have a pig race. I mean, where else are you going to go in your world to see a pig race, other than the fair? And so for me, anyway, it kind of brought back good memories and went early in the day. And so the crowd was very minimal and got a chance to see some folks I hadn't seen in a while and say hello. And, but again, it's a different world and a lot of masks and spacing and distancing and such, but still to get out and have the sense, the brain, the what you see, what you hear, taste, smell, all those sensory things going on brought me back to many years before when I used to enjoy that too.
Yeah. So here's the big question, dude.
Yeah.
Did you get yourself a double deep fried Snickers bar?
Oh, I think There was all, no, I didn't. But I had my cardiologist on speed dial just in case I needed them. And it was really something. And again, that time of day, there were very few lines here. So you could get what you wanted without having to wait in line and, be huddled up against people and, that kind of a thing. So it's kind of nice. It's plenty of space.
The Winston-Salem, Carolina Classic, downtown Winston-Salem, North by God, Carolina.
Yeah, it's right next to Goodwill. That's the fairgrounds.
Next to your office.
Yeah, it is. Yep.
Cool.
All good.
All right. Cool stuff. Here's my story. A good friend of mine just got a job. Now, we hope a lot of people get jobs, but this guy is 58 years old. Today is his birthday. And he's had his own business for many years and decided it was time to close up the business and go back to work in the industry that he used to work in. And he struggled finding a job. He's looking, applying. And he really it was really becoming overwhelming for him. Depressing is the word that he used at one point. And I told him, I said, stop looking for a job. I told him, I said, get into conversations with people who do the work that you're interested in doing. And he struggled with that because he's not a big networker. But he finally, about 3 or 4 weeks ago, had a conversation with a guy that used to work for him. And this dude says, oh my golly, man, you need to meet my boss. They need you here. And so he got a conversation with this guy's new boss. Okay. And today, he's on his 58th birthday. He started a job doing the work that he loved to do, doing the work in an industry he loves to be in. And so it's a great birthday present for him, and I'm happy for him. So
absolutely. And, it's interesting. Some would say luck, some would say coincidence. And Coach Cooper, who could never beat Michigan, that's why he never stayed at Ohio State very long. But I remember him saying, and I'm sure others have said it too, that luck is when preparation meets opportunity.
Yeah. And
if he's preparing and having those conversations, the opportunity helps to seal the deal. So you call it luck, you call it whatever you want to call it. But, being in the right place, at the right time, and being prepared goes a long way.
Absolutely.
Really. Hey, we've got a great guest. She is a returning guest. Melissa Hughes, PhD. Dr. Hughes from Naples, Florida joins us. Last time she talked about how uncertainty affects our brain, the job loss and just not knowing, and also talked imposter syndrome. So she's all about the brain. And the nice thing is she explains it in plain English so guys like you and me can understand it. And
thank you.
And so she'll talk again, it all deals with the brain and how we go through life. We'll talk about linkage and how the power of suggestion and how one thing can lead to another, and how the brain operates. I think it's going to be a fascinating talk. And it also applies to the job hunt when you really get down to it, and how employers make decisions. And that's going to be my tip. So I'll just move right in. But by the way, the show is going to be on Wednesday, the 13th, 11:55 Eastern time. Melissa Hughes, by way of Florida, returns to.
And Randy, I read her notes on the show. The title she has, The Powerful Persuasion of Priming. Like, oh my God, that's so deep. But then I read more of the show notes, and man, I get it. This is going to be powerful conversation. Absolutely.
It will be. And she delivers it in a way that is fun, engaging, it's informative, but it's not one of those up here where you're kind of have to break out a thesaurus and go, wait, what did you say again? I don't get it. No, we can follow her. So if we can follow her, you guys can follow her. So be sure to join us on Wednesday. But my tip is that, again, dealing with the brain, that we go through life, we make decisions based largely on emotion. Remember, she's talked before, we had 3 parts of the brain. The main one is to keep us alive. Yeah. I don't know what part of the brain, what the technical word for it is. I don't care at this point, be honest with you. All I know is I need to stay alive. So that's my one part of my brain. The other part is the emotion side of the brain. The third part is the thinking or the rational side. And so we tend to make decisions based on emotion.
Yeah.
We like it. It makes us feel good. We want it. And then we justify it by, well, I got a good deal on it. Or, it really is the best way to go. It's the best value out there, Teddy. It's a great value. And I'm a bargain shopper. So, but same thing with job hunting. Same thing with job hunting, and decisions in terms of hiring are largely emotion based, and then quickly validated by, well, they are degreed. Yes, they have the required background. Yes, they have this. But what was it that triggered the employer to say, I want to hire Teddy Burriss? And it probably had things to do with, hey, Teddy came recommended from somebody who I know, like, and trust. Teddy has built a good, solid reputation. I feel good about this guy. And I'm predisposed to liking and trusting him. So unless you do terribly in the interview, you got a pretty good shot at landing the job. And so again, and then I'll back it up and say, well, yes, he has this, he has that, he has that. So if you're a job hunter, keep in mind real quick, show enthusiasm, network, be somebody that others know, like, and trust to the degree that you can. And I think that'll help you as you go through that hiring process, which is largely based on emotion.
Yep. I'm with you, man. Find a way to get that person to like you, and then they'll want to know more about you, and then boom, you can get hired. Yeah. So, hey, here's my tip for the day, Randy.
Yep.
The core fundamental processes, these are big words for me, for building a network. Okay. The core fundamental processes of building a network. There's 4 pieces to it. Number 1, build your networks, including your LinkedIn network, with the people that you already know. Start there.
Sure.
Number 2, build and keep building your network, including your LinkedIn network, with people you meet in real life. Every time you meet someone, and never lose their digits, never, and when you can, if they're on LinkedIn, send them a LinkedIn invite. Mm-hmm. The next process is to ask for introductions to the people you want to meet. So if you discover somebody out there like Randy Wooden, and you don't know Randy and Randy doesn't know you, send me an email if you know me and say, hey, Teddy, you know this dude named Randy? Would you introduce me to him? Depending upon how much I like you, I may or I may not. I'm joking.
Yeah.
All about relevance. And here's the 4th part. This is called Purposeful Request.
Okay. When
you meet somebody, you get to know them, and I'm having a conversation with Randy. I may say to Randy one day, and I haven't said it to you in a while, buddy, because you and I do this by nature.
Yeah.
But we will say to each other, hey, dude, you need to meet this guy. Hey, man, Teddy, I just met this guy, or Randy, I just met this guy. I think you should meet them. So ask your network who they know that you should meet. When you start with your core foundational friends and family, people you meet along the way, people you want to meet, you ask for introductions. And the 4th piece is ask people, who do you know that I should meet? Boom. That's how you network.
Teddy, let me tag onto that, and you can comment on it if you wish or not, because it's our show. You do whatever you want to do. When in that 4th point, when you ask who are some people that you would suggest I talk to, if you're in a job search, that other person knows you're in a job search because you've told them that. And so logically they're thinking, okay, I need to give somebody named to Teddy who is hiring somebody like Teddy.
Yeah.
And chances are I don't know anybody like that. And so a lot of times you're going to get the response of, well, if I think of somebody, I'll let you know.
Yeah.
So how do you deal with that, Teddy, if you're out there trying to grow your network and you're in a job search and they basically are answering a question you didn't ask?
Yeah, well, that's fine. If you say I don't know anybody right now, I'm going, that's fine, man. This is called dropping those seed requests. The more of those little requests you have out there, one day, Randy, you're going to run into some dude who goes, oh my God, this guy, Teddy needs to meet him. But the more you let people know that you're always open to a new introduction, the more likely they'll do that for you. And by the way, all of this is predicated on you being willing to do that for them.
Yeah. So let people see your connections on LinkedIn for starters. How does that sound?
Yeah. And if you ask me to introduce you to somebody, I'm going to do it where I can.
Absolutely. Well, Teddy, it's going to be a good show coming up Wednesday on the 13th. We'll have Melissa Hughes by way of Florida, the neuroscience person, Dr. Hughes, and we'll talk all kinds of brain stuff. It's going to be fun. We'll have a good time. Hope you can join us 11:55 Eastern time, and be sure to register so you can take part in the conversation and jot in your questions, comments for Melissa. We'll try to tackle as many of those as we can.
All right, buddy, you go forth and have fun and help people, and I'll do the same. We'll talk later, man.
All right. See you, buddy. Bye.
Bye.